Hello and welcome to the Wikipedia Weekly Network, where me, Jan Ainali, and Albin Larsson are editing Wikidata live. Hello, Albin.
Hello, Jan.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's Wikipedia's 20th birthday.
Yes,
Or
indeed.
actually, it was yesterday, but since we usually do this on Saturdays, we're going to focus on it today. So we have our, let me see if I can point. We have our special little cake up there, bouncing cake, and a special background for today. So what do you have planned for editing?
I was thinking we're gonna work on the main item for Wikipedia in Wikidata. There's quite a lot of values related to various types of statistics, active users, and so on. But they are very often from quite recently. So I was thinking about using the Internet Archive to dig up some early statistics about Wikipedia.
Ah, really nice.
And you?
I'm going to try to make like a sort of a couple of different timelines of Wikipedia, so we can see when we started, and perhaps a bar chart. And I think when I try this out a little bit, I think we're going to encounter a few pieces of strange data that we'll also correct during the way. It's very nice with this when you do queries, you find stuff that it's easy to miss. So let's start with, and I've learned just now, the Q number for Wikipedia, because it's very low. It's 52.
Okay.
So we're here in the Wikipedia main item, and let's try not to get edit conflicts if you're also editing here. I think I have one thing. I'm going to do a bold edit, I think. I saw something that I'm not entirely agreeing with, and it didn't have a reference, but I'm pretty sure even if it had a reference, I would challenge it. So I'll scroll down quite far down here. And we have one of our newer properties called Open Data Portal.
Oh.
And I would claim that Wikidata is not Wikipedia's Open Data Portal. It might be Wikimedia Foundation's Open Data Portal, but I'm not really sure it's an Open Data Portal at all. But either way, it's not Wikipedia's Open Data Portal.
The closest thing I can think of is like the dumps page where you can download Wikipedia. But,
that's what I'm thinking is the Open Data Portal. Or if there's like statistics.wikimedia.org might qualify, but that would also
maybe if someone did a portal for all of this data, then
yes,
then we might have an Open Data Portal.
Yes. So I'm going to be bold here and just remove this one because I don't feel it is right. And so that's our first edit. So we're helping out in cleaning up the main. But there's also one other thing. I'm going to see if I can search for it. Edition has it. Yes. So we're going to remember this Wikipedia language edition, because when we're doing a timeline, we're going to query for things like these. So let's start with our little query service. And as always, you'll find it on query.wikidata.org. Now I'm going to start here from very scratch. So I'm going to select a few things. Let's call this a wiki. We're going to select a lot of wikis. And I don't want to deal with the IDs. So I know already now I want the label service to give me some nicer things. And since we're going to do a timeline, I want to do a timeline from where the different language editions started. So I'll add a parameter. I'll just call it start. And that'll be good for now. And we'll add our where clause and close that one. I'm going to add immediately the service for the label thing. And I'll just start writing service something and press Control spacebar. And I'll get this little thing, and this is the one I want. I'll just use it as it is. Now let's see. So I know I wanted the wiki, and this one should be an instance of. And if you remember, it was called Wikipedia language version. Let's see, we have a lot of things here. Language edition. So this is the thing we want. Actually, I'm going to do this shortcut and put a semicolon over here. And then I want the inception date. So let's go for inception. There we go. And we name that start. So I guess this will give us something around 300 items if they all have their start dates. So getting 237. So we don't have exactly all in here. Now the nice little thing here is we have this different kind of result views. And one of them is the timeline. So let's just try this out. And we get a lot of them, but you can also zoom. You can drag, and let's see if we can come in here on the beginning and find the date. There we have it. Oh. Right. Can I scroll down? Is it blinking there? Is it going in? Is it matching our cake? Or I don't know what. This was a little bit too much, so I'm going to narrow this down a bit. I'm going to try to filter out, let's say, just 2001, all the language editions that started in 2001. So I'll add a filter here, and I'm going to go with start, and I want it to be less than. Let's see. I'm going to do it like 2001, 12, 31. So just before then, I'm pretty sure there's someone starting exactly at 2002, 01. So I'll do it like this. And then there's these little strange things that I've just learned by heart. The daytime over there, and I think that's gonna work. And now we only got 19. So we have 19 here started in 2001. Let's just add a sort here for the table, so we'll see that it is
order
by start. And that'll make it easier to see if they're in something that we recognize. Yes. This is nice. And I think right now we actually, I jumped this. If I do it like this, we're going to see a few strange things here that I noticed before. And we have these start dates that are starting with like some T and something. And I was looking this up, and it turns out this is what you see when it has an unknown value. And we have a latest date, October 2009, with a reference from Basque Wikipedia. But I also noticed there before we have a dissolved date of 2007. So just by the dissolved date here, we could actually move this one up 2 years. So I'm actually gonna do that edit. But first, I think I'm gonna take a look at, see if we can get this more specified. And I was doing it like, let's see, is this, let's go special pages. Now I have this in Swedish, but I'll go to the all pages thing. And I'm looking for the main page. Because I think this one is started automatically. It has the page ID 1 of the wiki. And this one was created 29th of August 2004. So you can go set this as the start date. Oh, actually, I don't even need to change that. So we'll do this with the start date. Inception. I'll remove this. And here you have this little small thing. You go for custom value to get back the field. No, this is not what I wanted. What did I have? Was it 29th of August 2004? Yes. Oh, we have a lot of comments. Oh. Yes, great. Nicholas spotted also some data there. Japanese Wikipedia was not the second created. Great. Help edit and fix these. I'm going to remove the reference from the Basque Wikipedia because this I actually got from this reference URL. So I'll add that instead. And I'll just retrieve it today. So that's an improvement. It actually has an inception date. And I think we had a discussion here about the closure. And let's see, 29th of July 2007 it was closed. So I'll just copy this and I'll make this one more specific. I'll add this. Do we have the permanent link? Yes, great. All right, back to the query. That was a little bit of a sidetrack. And add this back in the filter and run it. We have these 19. Let's take a look at the timeline. And let's see if we can see this better. So we have the English, the March 2001 Japanese that Nicholas is about to fix. We'll see. Spanish, Russian, English, Polish. Oh, can I? There's the rest. It's a little bit tricky sometimes with a zoom and see everything. Yeah. But try to zoom in and out and it'll pop in, hopefully. Yes. This was interesting. Nicholas is finding that the data is unclear. So yeah, let's dig for better sources and see if we can do something nice. Yes. So when I was doing this, I was trying to my query, and I had to press timeline all over and over again before I remembered that you have this little trick. You can say the default view. So you just start with a hashtag and it will give you all the different kinds you can have as a default view. So if you go with timeline here, every time you run it, it will go directly into the default view, which
And
is
now the
also nice.
Japanese one has disappeared. Or
Oh,
is it because you haven't scrolled down?
no, it's because I didn't scroll down. So
Right.
you see it's over here. It's on March.
Okay.
And this is the tricky thing, because right now I cannot scroll, but if I zoom out once, I actually can.
Oh,
Oh, maybe it did disappear.
no.
Yes,
No,
someone
it
is
did.
editing here.
Ah.
Meanwhile, great. So this was a little bit of a thing I wanted to show you with the timeline, but then I also was thinking a little bit, hey, we could probably do some neat bar chart with this as well. So I'm going to remove the timeline here. Or actually, I'm just going to see, let's go into bar chart here. What is it called? Bar chart there. And just see what we get. And now we get something that looks more or less random. And I was realizing, no, wait, if we want to do a bar chart, we should probably go with number of articles or something like that, which we could have. So let's add a number here. And then we'll have to query for it. And I think this one is called number of records. That's the one. And let's just see what we get. All right, so now I think the bar chart is confused by the starting here. So I'll just remove it from over there.
There we go.
There we go. And strangely also, this one sorts by itself. I had the order by start. It didn't really care about it. Just put them out here in largest to smallest. And now I also see we have a very outdated number for Swedish Wikipedia. So I think I'm going to go fix that one, because it's off by almost 10%, which is not really good. So we'll find, or are you going to edit in the Swedish Wikipedia article?
No, I haven't planned that.
No, great. So I'm not stealing your edits.
No, even if someone does steal my edits, there's more edits to do.
There's so many things to do.
Indeed.
I heard the great statistics the other day. We passed 1 billion edits on English Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But also in 2020, 40% of all the edits was on Wikidata, on all Wikimedia projects.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine.
That's pretty cool.
Great tooling, very much automated. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I actually noticed, because the English Wikipedia has a special logo currently. They have a birthday logo, and
yes.
it says the billion edits below.
Should also have a stated expected completeness. I don't think this will ever be complete. So we have one from May 2020. And that one has the special statistics. I think we have even a better one that I'm going to use right now. So no, it's not that one. It's Is this the page I want? Yes, because here I can take. It would be nice to have. So I'm going to add one statement. I'm not removing this, because this one might be interesting to keep. Of course, over time, it might be too many, but I'm adding one for. And let's see what the number. The end of the year. I think that's like the.
Right.
Or is the first or the last date? Which one do you think we should get?
I think
December
the last
December
day.
31. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. So we have it over here. So we'll just copy it in here. No unit for that. We'll go with the point in time, 2020, 12/31. And it's going to be the same. This is the article, not all the pages in the wiki.
Right.
Which is, of course, a lot more. Oh. We have 2.
Oh, interesting.
What are the 5 million one? Very strange. This one was the 5 something. All right, let's use that one. I'm not really sure. This might need to be fixed later on, but that's a rabbit hole I'm not going down.
Not today.
You have to choose the. Oh, that was an interesting Wikimedia import URL. Is that better than reference in this case?
No, I think it's not.
Let's go. I'm actually also going to grab the permanent link here for this, because you never know if someone archives it later on.
Yeah.
I think since the first one is 2018, this gets archived every now and then. So I'll copy the permanent link, go back to the Swedish reference URL, and add it, and a retrieve date for that, which is today. This one didn't like the spacing, I guess. There we go. And now, to not confuse everything here, we should also make this one preferred.
Yeah.
So we only get one value when we query this. Expected completeness. Oh, a main statement. Well, we can add that.
Yes,
so,
we can.
Because I think this is, we can agree, expected completeness always incomplete. Eventually complete? No, always incomplete. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, new warning.
Let's see. I think this is supposed to be on properties, like identifier properties.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
it was
then why
there.
Is there some sort of conflict between?
Yeah, this number of records is not supposed to be on Wikipedia instances either, I think.
This even. So this one has it should be something else here.
Yeah, it's usually used for properties to say that this database contains this many records. I don't know if this is a valid use case, but it was not intended for this use.
Yes. And if you want to know about the property, what it was intended for, you can always go to first the property page itself. It might give something, but even better, in the discussion, in the top, we have this documentation. And here, sometimes you can figure out just from this what the intention was. But if not, there's also a link to when this was proposed. And this can be very handy when you're trying to figure out, oh, how am I supposed to use this one?
Yeah.
So
and there should always be examples there as well.
Yes. And we had a few here.
Right.
Let's see how it looks over here. So here it is. Yes, so this is a property example for properties, but also we have both here.
Yeah, so you should be able to use it on the item for the database as well, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, since we are adding constraints on properties, like it's not like it's perfect from the when you make a property, but you add them over time, and sometimes you're out of sync over different kind of properties and object types referring to each other. So
Yeah.
sometimes you need to update one after you have updated another one or added a constraint. So that's a kind of thing that you come back to. And I think now, let's see if I run this again, see how you hover here a few seconds. So perhaps if I just remove something here, it's not cached. Let's show the bar chart. Yes. And we removed 250,000 something, or 300,000. That's how we clean up on Swedish Wikipedia right now. So we're going down this list.
Indeed.
I had a little short thing. I'll see if I can show that, because I thought that was a nifty thing. Instead of going for language editions, I was like, hey, let's see what other websites started around the same time. So
Right.
I'll go for website here. I'll remove the record. Now I don't want, well, let's try all. And now we're going to get thousands, because a lot of them. So let's get just those who also have birthday this year along with us, who also turns 20. So I'll add an ad here, and now I want the other way. And 2001, 1. I think that will do it. Let's see if I got the... No, I need start here again.
Yeah, right.
And if we narrow it down a little bit, 37 others. And let's show them on the timeline. Now I didn't have the date. Add in and back. Start. And show the timeline. So we'll see have all the websites. So let's go back to the table again. All the websites, but now we lost Wikipedia, because of course that's not a website. We need to do this property path here again. So things that are a subclass
Right.
of a website as well. And subclass is 279. And you add a star for any number of levels. Let's see. If Wikipedia comes back, it should show up here. Yes. So now we have the English Wikipedia and Wikipedia and Wikipedia. Oh, let's clean this up a little bit by making a distinct. And let loose. Yes, so lost a number of them. And here is the timeline. Let's add that back here. Also, default map timeline. And I'll share this link in the chat, and you can play with that. UCC. So here we have all the websites that had a birthday this year. And I guess my next celebration will be the Swedish Wikipedia in May. I don't know much of the other ones. Maybe I do. We have a couple of them without. Oh, no labels at all. Or maybe
It's
not.
a Russian website.
Of course,
Or is it the
GameDave.ru.
Swedish one?
No, this is a Russian one.
A Russian one.
This one could be copied over. But I'm going to hand it over to you instead and do that meanwhile.
Great. And I'm going to start in a similar place as Jan. I'm going to start with the Wikidata item from Wikipedia, Q52. Right. Because there are a couple of things here which is rather interesting that I noticed when browsing over it. Let's see. See where we can find something. It's a rather large item. Yeah. So, for example, we got a couple of things here. We got number of registered users. And looking at this, it's like from the last 4 years and not older than that. So I was thinking we could take a stab on that, trying to figure out some older values. And as well as the Alexa rank, it's similar. So if you don't know what the Alexa rank is, it's a service that essentially ranks web pages by their popularity. So we can see that in October 2017, Wikipedia was the 5th largest website according to this source. But again, the same pattern we can see here. It's more or less 2020, quite a bit, 2019, 2017 being the oldest one. And of course, there is older information than that. So I was thinking we would dig it up.
Nice.
But first, I notice here that we have this very interesting detail here. We see a warning here because we have point in time in the reference. And let's similar on a couple of them. I believe all of them, or at least a couple of ones. But actually here we have a perfect example of what it should probably look like, and it's retrieved on the date. I imagine that is what is trying to being communicated here. So let's switch that. And it even suggests it. Right. And it takes a while today. There it goes. And same thing here. Retrieve. I can't be 100% sure that it was actually retrieved this date, but I'm pretty sure that is what someone aimed for. And that's it, point in time. But one thing we can see is that it pretty much have the same reference URL. So if we go to this, let's see what today's value are. I imagine it's always up to date.
The suspense. Oh, here it goes.
Right, must have been on my end. So going to this source, we can see that this site's rank 13 today. But we want to see some older values. So this is today, and it appears to only have today. But we have this Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine, and we very often use this to save sources, so people can look it up later on in case they have changed. But we can also use this to look up all data, which is what I want to do today. So I'm gonna search for this page, and we're gonna get a calendar view. And we can see that the oldest
promising.
it has is from 2009. I want to start with the oldest we can get. 4th of April 2009. Let's see. It looks rather different. It's always interesting here. So it has the traffic rank 7. People were staying on the page a little bit longer. Also interesting. But now we should actually be able to use this. So we had the date, April 4, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And this is rather interesting because I haven't decided how to model this myself. Because here we don't have the URL that we're picking it from is the archive URL. On the other hand, the archive URL is the actual URL we're using.
Yes.
But let's leave the reference for now and do the point in time here. And it was 044 2009. Like that. And the reference. This is the tricky part, and I haven't decided myself yet.
I'm leaning towards reference URL because you're actually, this is your reference.
Yes, I'm thinking that technically someone could have changed this copy. So that is what I'm gonna go with actually. The reference URL is the Internet Archive, and the retrieve day is today. And it don't want to autofill today.
Have you disabled it?
I might have broken it. It would be typical
Too
me,
many gadgets.
having done a bit of gadget development recently.
Yes.
So, no, I want to do a bit of experiment. I want to try to archive the archive URL. Just because, you know.
Somewhere else or in the Internet Archive?
In the Internet Archive. I just want to see what they say about it.
I hope they say no.
Let's see here.
No. Sorry.
Okay. We learned that. Okay.
You could go somewhere else.
I could go somewhere else. I could, but I think this should be a trusted one then. I trust the Internet Archive personally.
Yep.
Right. So that's the earliest one we could get to. Right. This is an interesting thing. You can see this warning on all of the reference URL here, and it says that this is wikipedia.org. So it should be the Wikimedia import
in general
URL.
Yeah.
But that is as it is for now. So now we got at least the earlier date there. So if someone wanted to plot a timeline similar to what Jan did, got a little bit more data. And this is generally useful practice to to look similar things up.
Yeah.
I want, however, to move on to the number of registered users / contributors, because this one is, I'm pretty sure, a Wikimedia page. Yes, it's a meta page. So let's see if we instead... So Jan actually talked about this. He talked about getting the persistent URL when he grabbed some statistics about the Swedish Wikipedia. And it's essentially the URL for the history and such. So we can link to specific version, because if we go down here and we were looking for users, we got a number here.
Yeah.
But if we want the old number, I imagine we could click view history. Let's see, is this auto updated or something? Let's go to the oldest.
Let's go way back.
2004. Let's have a look at the oldest one. We actually don't have the statistics here, we just have a list. So we can't go that far. I'm actually gonna jump a little bit ahead here. Let's move a year for now. Newer. Oh, can I only click that far ahead? Okay.
You can switch to 500 there also.
Let's see. Here we at least have the number of articles per wiki. But let's see if we have a total. No. And can I switch to 500 here?
Yep.
Yes. And then I have to scroll all the way down and click newer 500.
That should give you a bit more.
Oh, it was edited a lot that year.
I guess in 2005, 6, and 7, we're going to have a lot of edits, because that wasn't a very expansive period.
Yeah, indeed. So I open this here. Let's see. Active. Let's see. I would imagine it's in...
Oh, a table.
No, yeah. Now we're starting to get tables here. Still no total, I believe. See also. Okay, let's move to 2006. And do we have a hint here? No. I'm gonna move directly to 2006. Hoping that the value is there. As we said, it was edited a lot in 2005. Oh, still 2005. Okay, I'm gonna do a try here. In a new tab file. Let's see. Yes, now we got a bit of contents here as well. Test. Oh, still no total, or what looks to be total. 0. No. And still 2005. I'm gonna go even newer. I wonder if we can find this statistic somewhere else. Oh, 2006.
I went from the other end.
Right.
And was only 500 articles from now back to 2010. or edits.
Oh,
And in 2010, they do have the grand total.
so we should head over to 2010. And I would imagine that that's the easiest way to go. To the news edits again. 2012, 11, 10. I'm gonna pick a slightly random date here. Oh, spam.
No.
Or this at least is some vandalism on that particular date. I should have seen that. Right. Now we got a different type of table. Let's see. Yeah, grand total. And we're looking for the users. It looks rather similar to what we got today, according to Wikidata. 75. This is interesting.
This is very interesting. Is that the grand total for... No, that's Wikipedia's. Huh.
Yeah, this should be all the Wikipedias. Let's see here. I want to actually look at the page if there is some type of module or something in play here that just gives us today's value. So 599 at the end, 599 at the end. Okay. This was probably a Lua module behind this, that even in the history we're getting today's dates. We can't use that. Okay. I was hoping very much to do that. Then we're gonna go to the Internet Archive and paste this in here. We at least know that that grand total option was added around 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So we can jump to 2010 here. Right. Yes. So here we got.
Yeah, I went one page further back to when is this? In 2007 on
Right.
the wiki, and they haven't started with the module there, so you see the actual hard-coded values.
Right. So you can actually use that approach as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And the point in time, October 1, 2010. Can I write the date this way as well? Yes. I'm trying different inputs for dates today to see if it picks it up.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah, it's pretty smart. And one should use the smartness in it. No, I added an Archer one. There I want to go. Reference URL. The web archive. The internet archive. And it complains.
It doesn't like the spaces in the...
Okay. It might not be as smart as we claimed. Right. So that's one way to do it. Another thing I really want to edit here, when I was looking over this item yesterday, actually, was the logo. So Wikipedia haven't had the same logo the entire time. And there is a great article on the English Wikipedia about the history of Wikipedia.
Yes. We have a comment here which I very much agree on, that ISO 8601 is the only date format we need.
Yes.
And while I agree with you, Daniel, 100%, there's also some pragmatism that not the entire world is on our boat yet. So we could allow for them.
Indeed. And it's very useful when you copy paste essentially from various sources.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's actually the format it's stored in with timestamps and everything. Now, I know that somewhere in this article, yeah, actually here, the different logos. This is a very small one, and it only claims to. Here's a different one. Are there some larger? Let's go with this one. I know that this one should exist in a larger version.
Yes. Well, that's actually the small one from the 100
Yeah, it's from the
pixel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that works.
That's a vector file for this one.
No, that's the new one.
Yeah, that's the new one.
That's
right?
the wrong link.
This is version 2. This is version 1. They shouldn't be connected, right?
No. That's wrong.
That's annoying. Wikipedia historical. There is a category. No, it's a gallery. PNG large 2003 to 2010.
There you go.
This is what we are looking for. So I want to have this in the here as well. And I think we need a start time 2003. Don't know more exact. Gonna leave it like that.
Yep.
And time 2010. And a thing to double check here, I know that Jan had the same comment. Make sure that the rank when you do things like this, that the most current one has the preferred rank. It makes sure that people only get the most recent one when they do queries. So there
you
we
can
go.
always go to help rank on Wikidata to read more and learn about ranks, because there's some tricks when you want to deprecate and when to not to. So as you noticed, Albin did not put this one to deprecated because it's not actually wrong. It was just a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm not sure if one would use deprecated where something is directly wrong, but when something is, this was once true, but is no longer correct.
Or thought to be true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a reference URL as well to this, which is actually a commons page. I imagine it might complain here. And again, I want to click that one. Retrieve. Okay. Okay. 1621. Okay, great. Publish. let's see if I can do just an additional one. Oh, here we got a more exact date.
Mm.
I should improve upon that. Let's see. Is this a very small one? It is.
You might not have larger ones of these.
No. But this is a slightly too new one. Let's pick this for now. I imagine that it's a wiki, even Wikidata, so in case there is a better one, someone can improve upon it. Start time, there we only knew that it was 2001, but we had an exact end date.
Yeah, 13 of October. 13, I think.
Right. (2010).
No, 3.
2003, of course. The Orchard one was 2003. 2010. Let's add a reference as well. Actually, here we got the end time information in one place, I believe. We do not have it on this page. We had it.
I was wrong also. It was the 12th, not the 13th.
Yes. But where does this come from? It comes from the article, right?
Yes. So that should be the image text where the image is.
Yes. And here it would be the Wikipedia import URL. Retrieved would be today, which is actually no, we're gonna do 16, 20, 21. It picks up that as well. Publish.
I have the whole URL. Just remove.
Yes.
I think even file goes.
File as well.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. Publish. Right. So there we got 2 old logos as well. I think that adds a bit of value to this one. And with that, I think I'm running out of time.
All right. Some nice history added there.
Yes.
Great.
And in particular, showing the technique to use the Internet Archive for looking up past facts.
Yes, it's great, not only for storing in the present, but also to use the Wayback Machine as a Wayback Machine and travel back in time.
Yes.
All right. That was, it felt like time flew by, and I guess that has last 20 years as well. So it rounds up well. Happy birthday, Wikipedia, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.